Today, I'd like to talk to you about the question that we get asked a lot, which is teletherapy online really as effective as in-person therapy for sex therapy? So I wanted to talk to you about our experience with this. We started doing teletherapy a little bit before the pandemic, and in 2020, we transitioned everyone over to teletherapy. So our experience is based on some teletherapy before the pandemic and then everybody after. Our experience has found that it is as effective, if not more effective, than in-person therapy. So let me tell you about why. The first reason is that from a practical standpoint, it's a lot easier to get all three people, the two partners and the therapist, in one room at the same time, at the same place, and attend the sessions. It is much easier to get everybody's schedules coordinated when all three people don't have to get to the same place and deal with, work and commuting and traffic and getting from the place of home or the place of work, and all that commuting time. So sometimes we have one spouse in the house and one spouse in their office, and then the therapist in a third location. And it's a lot more effective than people skipping sessions, because what we were seeing when we were in the days of in-person therapy was that if it was hard to get away from the office, or it was hard for the person to get away from home, then people would, skip that session, skip the appointment, understandably. But this makes it easier for people to actually attend, which obviously attending is important for our outcomes. So just logistically, it makes it so much more convenient, which makes people more likely to attend regular sessions. And attending regular sessions is what's so important for you to reach your goals. The second thing is the privacy is amazing. There's no more waiting rooms. You're not going to see anyone in the hallway or in the waiting room. It's completely private. And our clients love this for sex therapy. The third reason is for inclement weather or childcare, or sickness, anything that might come up like that. You have a kid homesick, or you have kids are home during different periods of time during the summer, or you're not feeling very well, or the therapist isn't feeling very well, but we're well enough to attend a session, but maybe we don't want to leave the house, or maybe we don't want to maybe pass the illness to other people. So for weather and for illness, or for, like, let's say a child is home or a child has a day off school, something like that, you don't have to miss a session. One thing that we've noticed also from a clinical perspective is that people feel more comfortable in the comfort of their own homes. So we've noticed that people actually open up faster and with greater ease, which helps the therapy be more effective and more time effective, because they have an easier time opening up, and kind of relatively faster, because they're in the comfort of their own home. So they're sitting on their own couch, and they're in their own environment. And one thing, they might have their comfortable pillows, their comfortable plush blankets, their favorite chair, their favorite drink, and not to mention pets. We have so many pets join our sessions, and this is a real comfort item for people. So having people in the comfort of their own home with their physical surroundings, which is a sensory experience, right? You have the sensory experience of their own sofa, their own chair, their own blanket, their own pillows, and then the sensory experience of them relaxing with their pet. And many clients will, sit with their pet and stroke their pet, during the session. And it's clear that this helps them feel relaxed and more comfortable. And I think that this is so invaluable for our clients. Another great, going back to the convenience, sorry if I jumped around a little bit, is when people are traveling for work or for pleasure, or their schedules are just varying a little bit. It allows just so much flexibility, whether they're on a trip, on a work trip, whether they're in the office, whether they're at home. So I just wanted to also touch on that aspect. And then lastly, from the therapist point of view, it's so wonderful that I get to basically do like a home visit, in a sense, kind of like old-fashioned type of social work. I get to kind of get a lot more information rather than people just coming into my space. I get to actually go into their space. So I get to see their environment, how they live, and I actually gain a lot from seeing their space. And this can really tie into the therapy. Maybe somebody struggles with OCD and maybe they maybe one of the things that it comes out with the OCD is really obsessive cleanliness. Maybe they struggle with hoarding, and this is something that the therapist would never see if we didn't go into their home by a video session. And so for us to get a glimpse at some of these other issues, we may not get that information if they were to come into our office. So this can really help people having the therapist be able to kind of do that home visit. So for so many reasons, consistency of appointments, having the ease of being able to get both partners in the room. Before the pandemic, so often one person could not attend because of a work conflict or a logistical conflict or a scheduling conflict. And then the one partner would come to the session instead of nobody coming to the session. And we have that happen so much less frequently because of the flexibility that people can actually access the session from wherever they are. And it's more important that people attend the regular sessions rather than that they come in person. For the issues of sex therapy, we have found that it is as effective, if not more effective, for the reasons that we talked about. And now teletherapy is probably not best for every type of therapy, probably not for all types of children's issues, things like that, or maybe more chronic cases. But for sex therapy, we definitely have found that this is working. So I hope this was helpful.